Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to Jason is a Social Scientist by Mouth Daily. Pill number 700. It's the 700th episode of By Mouth Daily. The 700th pill I'll be swallowing alive on the Book of Face in front of friends, family, and strangers. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Alright, are you all here to light my fire? Oh, there's Sophie there. Hi, Sophie. Alright, set phasers to flaming. Alright, go, gadget, fire. Hey, Amanda, alright. So, some of you might be wondering what this show is about. People often wonder what this show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 700 pills, 700 shows, the number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. It's gonna dang the dang show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me the most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show, the community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell, boy does she now, heck, this show has it all. I'd like to say that it is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment. With Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record and cylinders played on a 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with a nursery rhyme book from my childhood containing woodcut illustrations from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also The Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warped nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity, punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber. The show now takes place in an echo chamber created by me that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand as this is advanced social science. Yeah, so the show is also like an old-timey variety show, Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy, a dash of Mr. Ed, and two doses of Alice in Wonderland, a helping of Hee-Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone, a tincture of Teen Wolf, an ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan, and a pound of Popeye. I am what I am. A whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Ha ha. Come up to the lab and see what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me. I wanna be dirty. Thrill me. Chill me. Follow. Fill me. Creature of the night. An undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college try of I Spy, a couple of raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoonful of Mary Poppins, and the full Monty Python. Finally lumping Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the Sky with diamonds, and wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. You've got this show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. Alice will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for her high fives. The first and the second coming will always be risen with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies. The Supermen and their boners will always be spinsters and sumptuouses working the sweatshop. The twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time. immemorial. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it'd be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, pre-exposure protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV for me. It's a brave new world. The future is now. And it's 1969. Free love. Woo! Hello, everyone. All right. Let's roll up a joint. We got communion refilled here, so let's roll up a joint. So it's almost 4:20. So before we raise the floor, we'll just roll this joint. Hello, everyone. Oh, I don't know, Damo. I don't know. My Batman mask. Hey, Horsey. Hello, everyone. Sorry I didn't say hi right at the beginning. I always like to get the premise out there. Thank you, Angela. Spread me like a virus. Tonight's pill 700. Woo! Hey, Tony Lee. Pill number 700. Bill number 700. Bill number 700. All right. Bronson Lane. Welcome to Jason is a Social Scientist. So this is what I get. This is the stuff I just got. So it's Purple Kush. Bronson Lane. Wants to know what the show's about. Bronson Lane, we love you! Bronson Lane, we love you! Dang it. Before I tell you what the show's about here, we should raise the roof. Other shows no, we should raise the floor. Other shows they raise the roof. Here we blow the motherfucking roof off and raise the floor, because a rising floor lifts all feet. Bang it and dang it and dang it. Hammer, hammer, screw, screw, nail, nail, pound, pound. Construction noises, construction noises. Bring it here, Lucas. Bring it here. Blast it up. All right, now raise the floor. All right. Bronson Lane wants to know what the heck the show is about. People often wonder what the show is about. Dang it, dang it, dang it. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 700 pills, 700 shows, tonight's the 700th pill, the 700th show of By Mouth Daily. A number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me the most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show, the community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell, boy do she now, hell, I mean, heck, this show has it all. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment, with Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record and cylinders played on a 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with the nursery rhyme book from my childhood containing woodcut illustrations from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also the Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harness the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling up them through a series of warped nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity. Time to break it down. Punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber, created by me, that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand, as this is advanced social science. Wait, no, Jessica. Advanced social science. Yeah, so the show is also like an old-timey variety show. Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy. A dash of Mr. Ed and two doses of Alice in Wonderland. A helping of Hee Haw. Heaps of Benny Hill. A hint of the Highlander. Tons of the Twilight Zone. A tincture of Teen Wolf. Ow, 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 ow! An ounce of Oz. A cup of Creep Show and Castaway. A quart of Quantum Leap and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse. A pinch of Peter Pan. A pound of Popeye. I am what I am. A whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Ha ha. Come up to the lab and see what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me, I wanna be dirty. Thrill me and chill me, fill me, creature of the night. An undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college try of I Spy, a couple raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoonful of Mary Poppins and the full Monty Python. Finally lump in Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the Sky with diamonds, and wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. You've got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. Alice will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for her high fives. The first and the second coming will always be risen, with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies. The Supermen and their boners will always be spinsters and sumptuouses working the sweatshop. The twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign, like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it'd be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, pre-exposure protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals you. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now. And it's 1969. Free love. Woo! All right. You're making me jealous, Lucas. All right. That's the show in a fairly large nutshell. Ah, 420. Happy 420, everybody. Oh, shoot. Where'd I put the joint? Ding it. Aha. Happy 420. Running late. Oh, it's so tight. All right. Well, it's always 420 in here, Deborah. I've only ever that the DMT you can smoke. I don't know. All right. Indeed. Hey there, Chucky. Dang it, Jack. Hey there, Rose. Thank you, Audra. Welcome back, Kayla. There is no other song, Lucas. There is no other song. Love you too, Tony Lee. All right. There's just one song. We might play some records later, but still, there's just this one song. Hey, Chad Newey. What's Newey? Dang it. This is the song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends. Uh-oh, Amanda. Uh-oh. Oh, thank you, Audra. Dang it. Lucas is bossy today. All right. You can't boss me. You're not the boss of me. I might make some potatoes later. Something privately, William. Maybe sometime tomorrow if you want it to be private. Let's just be equals, Lucas. Let's just be equals. You bring the DMT though. Sweet, man. Right, I'll get in touch with you, Matt. Message me so I don't forget. Sour cream. I don't have any chives, but we got sour cream. No cheese either. Sour cream and butter. And I'll bake it in the oven. 145 for an hour and 45 minutes. Or no, 1 hour and 45 minutes for at 425. Right back at you, William. Love you too, man. Let's see. Oh. So I had to drive quite a bit today, and part of the reason I started the show so late is because I was driving home and I'm just too tired. I had to pull over at the rest stop and I slept for an hour. Hey, Jason. Got the ceiling. How are you, sir? I think I do a lot of extra steps. Audra says I do extra steps while cooking potatoes. But they turn out good, so I'm afraid I would jinx it. I don't know about that, Kayla. I've been having fun doing the voices, reading story time, but I don't know if I could do it. Maybe with some direction, I could do it. I could act it. Maybe it'd be fun to try. I don't know. I get such stage fright. My voice cracks. Well, it's starting to get better. All right. Where's my trolley? Dang it to heck. Car naps aren't the best though. Oh, bed naps are best. Oh, it'd be even a worse. I'd be even a worse model than an actor. Ding ding. Sorry, Jaden. Oh, well, what's the purpose? You know, some of the stuff I've collected for a long time, it's to create a sense of nostalgia. I think initially it was to create a sense of perspective. You can see there's a mini TV and a big TV. This is like supposed to be a forced like this miniature is supposed to, using forced perspective, I make it roughly the same size as the actual thing. So there's a skull and then a mini skull, a mini phonograph horn, a big phonograph horn, big skeleton, little Superman, big Superman, mini fireplace, big fireplace, big sewing machine, mini sewing machine. What's the purpose of anything, really? Dang it. Hi, Rose. Thank you. Oh. My kids were my purpose for a long time, and that was enough for me for a while. And then I don't know. Once I got diagnosed with HIV, I felt like I really let them down, and that the whole world, like, I was really giving myself a hard time when I was first diagnosed, and so it was like I fucked up my purpose, right? It was hard for me to imagine that it could, that I could recover. But then I accidentally stumbled into the show, and now the show is my purpose. I don't think kids cure drug addictions necessarily. Well, they did help. It actually did help me. I think it made me give up drugs that would have inhibited my ability to parent. Wow. That seems like just you. That seems like a selfish purpose, doesn't it? I think we all want to feel like we're part of something bigger. That we are. We're all fancy and fine just the way we are. You're right. I know. My kids are proud of me. I feel better now. It's really easy to feel that way when the whole world is telling you that you're bad too, or everybody around you is. People had really unkind things to say. How could he do that to his family? You did it to yourself. It's like everybody thinks they can sit in judgment of you. I guess when I was talking about being selfish, the whole purpose in life is you. It's like if your whole life is you and nothing else. I don't know. spending too much time thinking about yourself is dangerous too. But people who are depressed, if you examine their writing, they use the word, they refer to themselves a lot more than they use I and me and among other different words. I forget. I don't know. Oh, so I'm kind of tired too, but I got a little nap in. Let's get a candle burning. Hey, Vanessa Fox-Smith. I know children are they're not the only secret, I think. I think that's actually, I mean, that's kind of that's the purpose that's hardwired into us, right? But really, we have the ability to like make our purpose anything we want. Kids were a magic bullet for me, but that's, it's kind of, I knew they were going to make me feel better after I was really depressed when my parents died, and they died in 2006 and 2007, and my first son wasn't born until 2010, so I just spent like 3 years really depressed, gorked out of my mind on opiates, and I just had a kind of a death wish after my mom died. I just literally say, I wish I was dead, I wish I was dead, I wish I was dead, over and over again. But I knew having kids would, it did, that the bond that I had with my mom, is something special about the parent-child bond, I think, right? But, I don't know. We can find other, I don't know what I'm talking about. Thank you, Amy Granfield. Thank you. We can decide anything as our purpose in life, right? I mean, some people really find their identity in their work. Some people really find their identity in their family. Some people really find their identity in their religion. Some people really find their identity in Fortnite. Ramble. Yeah, I live in the past. All right. Candles. Jack be nimble. Jack be quick. Jack jump over the candlestick. I was talking about this therapist the other night, the same therapist I was telling about when I was talking. If anybody was here when I was reading my short story, I told about the therapist at the inpatient or the outpatient psychiatric hospitalization, the partial hospitalization program. It's basically like 6 hours of group therapy a day for 18 days. Pretty intensive. I went in and I went there after my first suicide attempt. and I talked about my depression, and I think a lot of it does come from the grief. I really have a hard time with the. I grieved my parents, my mom especially, really hard, and what was I saying? Oh, she, I was just saying how much having kids really, like, saved my life, like, and how, like, once I became a dad, I gave up opiates because, like, I knew I couldn't, have a needle hanging on my arm and be a good dad, and she's saying, "Oh, it's all well and good, Jason, that, I'm glad that your kids help you, but they're gonna grow up, right, Jason? They're gonna grow up, and then you're gonna be left with yourself again." I don't know. I don't know. Where's that from? That sounds so. It's ringing a bell somewhere. Yeah, I can show you some. Go Gadget mini fireplace. I sure can, Kayla. Okay, this is tulip number 6. It's spray paint on styrofoam, and then I don't know. This is just a random backing of, like, I think it was part of a photo album or photo frame, and a stack of, like, kind of these. They're signed in blood. But we live in such a 7 billion people, right? Like, we can pass our legacy on without making more babies. Like, culture is like that's what because not very little of us or even our current culture will survive, but hopefully humanity will persist for a while. This is panties number 6. I go with it fits and starts. Like, I started painting because, like, I was doing the show for a while, and then I could say it's a couple raw strokes of Bob Ross, right? if I painted, and then also, like the show, I felt like was a creative pursuit, like it's an art form of its own, but I can't hold it in my hand. I can't hold the show in my hand afterwards, and so I wanted to have a creative outlet where I actually had something, like physical afterwards, but I also, like the show, I wanted my art to have a message, right? And that's why I signed my art with blood, right? It's U equals U. And I do all blood paintings too. I've got a series of 10 of these. So I want, blood is like, makes people have, a lot of people have like a instinctual reaction to the sight of blood. Even the color red is like, it's powerful on us. And so I want people to look at my paintings and say, is that art? Is that a biohazard? Should I be afraid of that? So then, because that'll start a conversation. Those are all questions that most people, once they find out I'm HIV positive and they see my blood on art, makes them say, hey, should I be afraid? And then, so that starts the conversation about, so then not only is it the paintings serve as a creative outlet, but they also serve as a way to spread the good news about HIV. When people are afraid of it, I'm like, well, once it's dry, I can explain to them it's not a biohazard. At least, I think in universal precautions in the hospital, if somebody has a Band-Aid, right, and it's got blood on it, or somebody has this tiny little cut and it gets blood on their sheet, like the sheet, the Band-Aid, they're not considered biohazards unless they're dripping in blood, right? Something has to be dripping in order to be a biohazard. And these don't drip anymore, so I think it's not technically a biohazard. And then any blood is considered a biohazard, right? But I can explain to them about U equals U and undetectable equals untransmissible and all that jazz. I hope you're healed up now. Hey, thank you, Michelle. Jeff, you don't know. Undetectable equals untransmissible. They just transplanted a liver from an HIV positive woman to her HIV negative son because he would have died without it. And it was a year ago, and right now he doesn't show any signs of active HIV infection. And it's because she was undetectable and untransmissible. It's like they're not quite sure where the virus hides out, but it's not in the blood. When you take your medication, it's so effective. It's like you can't catch HIV from me. I don't know about Hep C surviving in dried blood. I don't think that's true. Well, have a nice lunch break, Teresa. my paintings aren't a hazard. No, I get like yeast infections in my nose pretty frequently, skin infections. But in general, I have a very robust immune system. Like my active immune system, which is measured by the number of CD4 cells. It's the white blood cells that kill foreign invaders. My that's always been well within normal limits. But there's a secondary white blood cell. They're called innate lymphoid cells, and they're pre-programmed to kill like specific things like yeast and I don't know, the things that are just most common that people come across. And they didn't even know these innate lymphoid cells existed in anyone up until like 2015 or 13, like really recent discovery. But once they discovered them, they found out that people with HIV, within the first 3 weeks of infection, all those innate lymphoid cells are eradicated and they never come back. And so unless you start a medication within the first two or three weeks of contracting HIV, then you lose those cells forever. And even though I have a healthy immune system, like my body can identify infection and foreign invaders, and there's just like the secondary immune system that accounts for some of the people with HIV don't get sick with like the things that are traditionally associated with AIDS, but they do have like a slight increased risk of like things like yeast and HPV and herpes and like the common skin infections. Oh no, I don't eat very healthy at all. But no, the people with HIV, the meds are so effective that their average lifespan is approaching that of our HIV negative counterparts. Yeah, my doctor said he had a patient that was covered head to toe in warts over his face. It was really disfiguring, and he had a really low CD4 count. He was like, he had AIDS, but once he got on meds and his white blood cells came back out, is like they all just went away. Thanks, Damo. Thank you. Practice makes perfect, I guess. I was gonna share the show to U equals U. I don't share it there every night because I don't want to spam them, I guess, but I share it there on special nights. sorry, everybody. Just didn't know how to write this. Okay. I'm celebrating a milestone tonight. I will be swallowing my 700th pill live on the Book of Face in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. Good enough. Hey, Lorraine Lollygald. Hey. Hi, Crystal. Can't see your last name. I only can see it on this screen. I only see half of it. Hey, Crystal. Crystal Renee. Hey. This, Kayla, it's my favorite pastime. Hanging out with you people. I like TV a lot. I watched a lot. Before I did the show, I watched a lot more TV. Politics I follow. I was a news junkie before I had kids. Physics I like a lot. I wanted to be a physicist when I was younger. I struggle with math though. It's kind of a phobia, I think. I blame my 7th grade math teacher. He shamed me. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I don't think about stuff like that. Don't work too hard, Lorraine. How's work going? Maybe we should play a record. don't think I could read advertisements about gold either without killing myself. Well, I just had a really hard time understanding the concept of variables. I don't know. I did really well through up through 6th grade, right? I did, and my teacher put me in, my 6th grade teacher when I went to junior high, she put me in advanced math, and so I was in advanced math with all the smart kids, right? And so then I got embarrassed in front of all of them. They took me years for any of them to give me any respect again. And I also had a hard time getting my assignments done. I don't know, that was just a hard year. 7th grade is a rough year. I just remember him embarrassing me in front of the whole class, making fun of my low grades. And he had this stigmatism too, right? So he never astigmatism, so he never looked at you. I'm I was so mad at him, big bully. Look at me if you're gonna. Please look at me if you're gonna be mean to me. I didn't say anything. But then the next year I had. This guy had a reputation of he seemed really gruff. Both the math teachers were coaches, I think basketball coaches or something. But anyway, the mean guy was he was a lot nicer. He had a twinkle in his eye when he would yell at you. You could just tell he was a goof, right? And he helped me understand variables. I just couldn't get it in my head that, I wanted X to equal a certain number. No gold teeth for me, not yet. Oh yeah, I don't mind gold in general. Gold teeth are alright. I just don't want to sell. I don't even think you actually get any gold. When you buy gold on the radio, I don't know. When you buy gold for your portfolio. It's almost time to make potatoes. Sometimes I want to go back to school just for math. All right, Jeff, enjoy that. Oh, we need new words of the day. Uh-oh. Lucas is upset. Sloth. This used to be my favorite sin. Dang it. My whole life, sloth was my favorite sin. And humility was my best quality. I would tell people that. Humility is my best quality. And sloth is my favorite sin. But now I think pride is both my favorite sin and my best quality. All right, bring sloth. That's good, Lucas. Safety first. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true or not, but I always consoled myself but because I heard that Einstein was bad at math. I do. Her name is Sophie. Any pets? Who's all got pets? Do you interact with them, Lucas? I showed her on the shower show earlier. She can't get up this high. I see. That's funny. Did you carry the cat inside the house? Inside your place? Hey, Tam. Make a ballo privado. Hello. This song is, I'll show you. Pussycat. Let's see. How's it? Pussycat. Something. Oh, pussycat. Your coat is so warm. Pussycat. All right. So this is I Can't Give You Anything But Love by Rose Murphy. And afterwards we'll play the flip side, When I Grow Too Old to Dream, also by Rose Murphy. Enjoy that tea. Lynn Ann has a 9-year-old cat. Oh, nice. Oh. That's sad. I'm sorry. That'd be hard. Rita's back too. Hello, Rita. These are old 78s too. These are they stopped making these in like the 50s, I think. Nice, Rita. Hey, Jennifer. Sylvia. It's good, right, Katie? This is Sophie. So that was I Can't Give You Anything But Love, and this is When I Grow Too Old to Dream. The I Can't Give You Anything But Love sort of reminds me of Meatloaf's song, like, what's that? I Do Anything for Love. Because it's really similar too. I think he must have kind of riffed off of her. Because she says, you know how he says, like, I'd do anything for love, but I wouldn't do that. You know, he doesn't actually ever say it, you know, but he wouldn't, like, have sex with somebody. But she's like, I can't give you anything but, and she just silences it, you know, like, I don't know, she just blank, I don't know. Can't give you anything but. hear you, Rita. I don't know. Not all people are bad, though. Not all people are bad. Just once bitten, twice shy, I think, for myself at least. Dang it. Dang it. Hey, April. I think if people aren't afraid, I think they're kind. I think fear gets in the way. But I think people avoid it. But if somebody falls in their lap, they'll usually help if they. I think people, at least most people don't want to do harm. At least. This one's, have you ever been lonely? It's really the people that are close to you, I think. They're the ones that, they're the only ones that really have the motive or the means to really hurt me, at least. The people that are close to me. I think it's strangers that are usually the kind ones. This feels like I'm in a French cafe. Sleep in the shower. Sounds lovely. Croissant. Sounds lovely. think I'm gonna make the potatoes now. And then I'll read some stories to you guys. I'm gonna get the potatoes started. These are gigantic taters. I don't know what year is the song. I'm not sure. It doesn't have a date on it. Alright, gotta wash the potatoes. Oh, I can make you some coffee, sure. I've got a French press here. I'm gonna bake these in the oven. So I'm gonna poke them. This is the last potato to poke. preheat the oven for 425. Alright, now butter and tin foil. Aluminum foil, excuse me. Pieces of tin foil, aluminum foil. Now butter, 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 butter. Good night, Kayla. Jennifer, say good night to Kayla. After we get these potatoes in the oven, I'm going to read some short stories. Stick a quarter stick of butter in each. In the tin foil with each potato. Oh no, not tonight. Hi, Danielle. smoke a bowl, what we need to do. Communion. Can't see much of anything though. Hey Jeff, how was your camo? This is a straight up camo, unfiltered, filtered. Hey Brian. Hey Joanna. I can see that. I can see that. No, they go well together actually. Alright, the potatoes are all foiled up. I'm gonna bake them 425 in a convection oven for an hour and 45 minutes. There's a quarter stick of butter in there and salt with each potato. Yeah, this will be done with 20 minutes left. I'll have time to eat a potato maybe. Alright, the oven's almost preheated. It's at 410. And then we'll do some reading. I'm walking and taking. Talking, you mean? It's a start. Hi, Brett McClellan. I'm walking and talking communion. Walking and taking communion. No, that's cool. Hey, Brett. Where are you walking to? Hey, Kelly. Oh, I love you too. We're just gonna read some short stories pretty soon here. I read this book one other time, but there's a lot of new people here, so I don't have anything else to read, and they're fun stories. We're reading short stories by Charles Bukowski, The Most Beautiful Woman in Town, and Other Stories. Let's do The Fuck Machine. The Fuck Machine by Charles Bukowski. It was a hot night in Tony's. You didn't even think of fucking. Just drink cool beer. Tony coasted a couple down to me and Indian Mike, and Mike had the money out. I let him by the first round. Tony rang it up, looked around. 5 or 6 others staring into their beers. Dolts. So Tony walked down to us. "What's new, Tony?" I asked. "Aw, shit," said Tony. "That ain't new." "Shit," said Tony. "Oh, shit," said Indian Mike. We drank at our beers. "What do you think of the moon?" I asked Tony. "Shit," said Tony. "Yeah," said Indian Mike. "Guy's an asshole on Earth. He's an asshole on the moon. Makes no difference." There's probably life on Mars. There's probably no life on Mars, I said. "So what?" asked Tony. "Oh, shit," I said. 2 more beers. Tony coasted them down, then walked down for his money. Rang it up, walked back. "Shit, it's hot. I wish I were deader than yesterday's Kotex." Where do men go when they die, Tony? "Shit, who cares? Don't you believe in the human spirit?" "A bag of bullshit. How about Shay, Joan of Arc, Billy the Kid, all those?" "A bag of bullshit." We drank our beers, thinking about it. "Look," I said, "I gotta take a piss." I walked back to the urinal, and there, as usual, was Petey the Owl. I took it out and began to piss. "You sure got a little dick," he told me. "When I'm pissing or meditating, yeah, but I'm what you call the super stretch type. When I'm ready, each inch I got now equals 6. "That's good then, if you ain't lying, 'cause I see 2 inches showing." "I'll show you the head. I'll give you $1 to suck your cock." "That ain't much." "You're showing more than head. You're showing every bit of string you got." "Fuck you, Pete." "He'll be back when you run out of beer money." I walked back on out. 2 more beers, I ordered. Tony went through his routine, came back. "It's hot. I think I'm going crazy," he said. "The heat just makes you realize your true self," I told Tony. "Wait a minute, you call me a nut?" "Most of us are, but it's kept a secret." "All right, saying your bullshit is straight. How many sane men are there on Earth? Are there any?" "A few." "How many? Out of the billions?" Yeah. "Well, I'd say 5 or 6. 5 or 6, said Andy Mike. "Well, suck my cock." "Look," said Tony, "how do you know I'm nuts? How do we get away with it?" "Well, if we were all insane, since we're all insane, there are only a few to control us, far too few, so they just let us run around insane. That's all they can do at this moment. For a while I thought they might find some place to live in outer space while they destroyed us, but Now I know that the insane control space also. How do you know? Because they planted an American flag on the moon. Suppose the Russians had planted a Russian flag on the moon. Same thing, I said. Then you're impartial, Tony asked. I'm impartial to all degrees of madness. We became quiet, kept drinking, and Tony, too, began pouring himself scotch and waters. He could. He owned the place. Jesus, it's hot, said Tony. Shit, yeah, said Indian Mike. Then Tony began talking. Insanity, said Tony. You know, there's something very insane going on at this very minute. Shit, yeah, said Mike. Then Tony began talking. Insanity, said Tony. You know... Oh, I already said that. Sure, I said. No, I mean, right here. At my place. Yeah? Yeah, it's so crazy. Sometimes I get scared. Tell me all about it, Tony, I said, always ready for somebody else's bullshit. Tony leaned real close. I know a guy's got a fuck machine. No crazy sex magazine shit. Like you see in the ads, hot water bottles with replaceable corned beef pussies, all that nonsense. This guy has really put it together. A German scientist. We got to him. I mean, our government did before the Russians could grab him. Now keep it quiet. Sure, Tony, sure. Von Braschlitz, our government, tried to get him interested in space. No go. A brilliant old guy, but he just has this fuck machine in mind. At the same time, he thinks that he's some kind of artist, calls himself Michelangelo at times. They pensioned him off at $500 a month to keep him alive enough to stay out of the nut houses. They watched him a while, then got a little bored or forgot. But they kept the checks coming, and now and then an agent would talk to him 10 or 20 minutes a month, write a report that he was still crazy, then leave. So he just drifted around from town to town, dragging his big red trunk behind him. Finally, one night, he come in here and begins drinking. Tells me that he is just a tired old man, needs a real quiet place to do his research. I kept putting him off. Lots of nuts come in here, you know. Yeah, I said. Then, man, he kept getting drunker, and he laid it down to me. He designed a mechanical woman who could give a man better fuck than any woman created throughout the centuries. Plus no Kotex, no shit, no arguments. I've been looking, I said, for a woman like that all my life. Tony laughed. Every man has. I thought he was crazy, of course. Until one night after closing, I went down to his rooming house with him, and he took the fuck machine out of the red trunk. And? It was like going to heaven before you died. Let me guess the rest, I asked Tony. Guess. Von Braschlitz and his fuck machine are upstairs at your place right now. Uh-huh, said Tony. How much? $20 a piece. $20 a fucking machine? He's outdone whatever created us, you'll see. Petey the Owl will blow me for $1. Petey the Owl's okay, but he ain't no invention that beats the gods. I shoved over my 20. So help me, Tony. If this is some kind of crazy kind of hot weather gig, you lost your best customer. Like you said earlier, we're all crazy anyhow. It's up to you. Right, I said. Right, said Indian Mike. Here's my 20. I only get 50%, you gotta understand. The rest goes to Von Braschlitz. $500 pension ain't much with inflation and taxes, and Von B drinks schnapps like crazy. Let's make it, I said. You got $40. Where's this immortal fuck machine? Tony lifted a partition of the bar and said, come through here. Take the stairway to the back rear. Just go up there, knock, say, Tony sent us. Any door number? Door number 69. Oh, hell yes, I said. What else? Oh, hell yes, said Tony. Get your balls. We found the stairway, walked up. Tony will do anything for a gag, I said. We walked along. There it was, door number 69. I knocked. Tony sent us. Ah, do come in, gentlemen. Here was this old, horny-looking freak, glass of schnapps in his hand, double-lensed glasses, just like the old-time movies. He appeared to be having a visitor, a young thing, almost too young, looking flimsy and strong at the same time. She crossed her legs, flashing all the bit, nylon knees, nylon thighs, and just that tiny part there where the long stockings ended, and just that touch of soft flesh. She was all ass and breast, nylon legs, clean blue, laughing eyes. Gentlemen, my daughter Tanya. What? Yes, I know, I am so old. But like the myth of the black man with the ever-huge cock, there is also the myth of the dirty old Germans who never stop fucking. You may believe what you wish to. This is my daughter, Tanya, anyhow. Hello, boys, she laughed. Then we all looked toward the door, which was labeled Fuck Machine Storage Room. He finished off his schnapps. And so, you boys came over for the best fuck ever, yeah? Daddy, said Tanya, must you always be so crude? Tanya recrossed her legs, higher this time. I almost came. Then the professor finished another schnapps, then got up and walked over to the door labeled Fuck Machine Storage Room. He turned and smiled at us, then very slowly opened the door. He walked on in and came out rolling this thing on what looked like a hospital bed on wheels. It was naked, a clod of metal. The prof rolled the damn thing right out in front of us, then began humming some rotten song, probably something from the German. A clod of metal with a hole in the center. The professor had an oil can in his hand. He poked it in the hole and began punching in a quantity of this oil, meanwhile humming his insane German song. He kept punching the oil in, then looked back over his shoulder and said, "Nice, yeah?" And he went back to work, pumping in the oil. Indian Mike looked at me, tried to laugh, said, "God damn, we would take it again." "Yeah," I said, "it seems like it's been 5 years since I've been laid. But I'll be damned if I'll stick my cock into that mound of hard lead." Von Brashlitz laughed, walked over to his liquor cabinet, found another fifth of schnapps, poured a goodie, sat down facing us. As we in Germany began knowing that the war was lost, and the net began to tighten down to the final battle of Berlin, we knew that the war had taken on a new essence. The real war then became who was to grab the most German scientists. If Russia got the most German scientists, or America. Those were the ones who were going to get to the moon first, Mars first, anything first. Well, I don't know how it really came out, numerically, or in terms of scientific brain power. I only know that the Americans got to me first. Snapped me up, took me away in a car, gave me a drink, put pistols to my head, made promises, talked madly. I signed everything. All right, I said, so much for history, but I'm still not going to stick my poor little dick, into that hunk of sheet metal or whatever it is. Hitler must have been really a madman to nursemaid you. I wish the Russians had gotten to your ass first. I want my $20 back. Von Brashlitz laughed. Hee. It's just my little joke, Nine. Hee. He shoved that mound of lead back into the closet, slammed the door. Oh, hee, and had a little bit more schnapps. Von B poured another schnapps. He really put them down. Gentlemen, I'm an artist and an inventor. My fuck machine is really my daughter Tanya. More little jokes, Von? I asked. Joke nothing, Tanya. Go over and sit in the gentleman's lap. Tanya laughed, got up, walked over and sat in my lap. A fuck machine? I couldn't believe it. Her skin was skin, or so it seemed, and her tongue as it worked into my mouth as we kissed. It was not mechanical. Each movement was different, responding to my own. I was busy at it, ripping her blouse from her breasts, working at her panties, hotter than I had been in years, and then we were tangled. We somehow got to standing, and I took her standing up, my hands ripping at her long blonde hair, bending her head back, then reaching down, spreading her asshole as I pumped. She came. I could feel the throbbing, and I joined. It was the best fuck I had ever had. Tanya went to the bathroom, cleaned up and showered, dressed again for Indian Mike, I guess. Man's greatest invention, Von Brashlitz said quite seriously. He was quite right. Then Tanya came out and sat on my lap. No, 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 Tanya, it's the other man's turn. You just finished fucking that one. She didn't seem to hear, and it was strange, even for a fuck machine, because, really, I had never been a very good lover. Do you love me? She asked. Yes. I love you, and I'm so happy, and I'm not supposed to be alive. And you know that, don't you? I love you, Tanya, that's all I know. God damn it, screamed the old man. This fucking machine! He walked over to the varnished box with the word Tanya printed on the side. There were these little wires sprouting out of it. There were dials and needles that quivered, and many colors, lights that blinked on and off, things that ticked. Von B was the craziest pimp I had ever met. He kept playing with the dials, then he looked at Tanya. 25 years! Damn near a lifetime to build you. I even had to hide you from Hitler. And now, you try to turn into a mere, an ordinary bitch. I'm not 25, said Tanya. I'm 24. You see? Just like a common bitch. He went back to his dials. You put on a different shade of lipstick, I said to Tanya. You like it? Oh, yes. She leaned over and kissed me. Von B kept playing with his dials. I felt that he would win. Von Brashlitz turned to Indian Mike. It's just a minor kink in the machine. Trust me, I'll get it straight in a minute, yeah? I hope so, said Indian Mike. I've got 14 inches waiting and $20 down. I love you, Tanya told me. I will never fuck any other man. If I can't have you, I won't have anybody. I'll forgive you, Tanya, for anything you do. The prof was getting pissed. He kept turning the dials, but nothing was happening. Tanya! It's time for you to fuck the other man! I'm getting tired and must have a bit of schnapps. Be out to sleep. Tanya! Ah, said Tanya, you rotten old fuck. You and your schnapps, and then nibbling at my tits all night, so I can't even sleep. Well, you can't even raise a decent hard. You're disgusting. Was? I said you can't even raise a decent hard. You, Tanya, will pay for this. You are my creation. I'm not yours. He kept turning his magic knobs. I mean, on the machine. He was quite angry, and you could see that somehow the anger gave him a vital brilliance beyond himself. Just wait, Mike. All I have to do is adjust the electronics. Wait. A short. I see it. Then he leaped up. The guy that they saved from the Russians, he looked at Indian Mike. It's straight now. The machine is in order. Have fun. Then he walked over to his schnapps bottle, poured another goodie, sat down to watch. Tanya got off my lap and walked over to Indian Mike. I watched Tanya and Indian Mike embrace. Tanya worked Indian Mike's zipper down, got his cock out. And man, he had plenty of cock. He said 14 inches, but it looked more like 20. Then Tanya put both her hands around Mike's cock. He moaned in glory. Then she ripped the whole cock right out of and off of his body, threw it to the side. I saw the thing roll along the rug like an insane sausage, dribbling red, sad trailets of blood. It rolled up against a wall, then stayed there like something with a head but no legs, and no place to go, which was true enough. Next, here came the balls, flying through the air, a heavy, looping sight. They simply landed upon the center of the rug and didn't know what to do but bleed, so they bled. Von Brashlitz, the hero of the American Rus invasion, took a hard look at what was left of Indian Mike, my old beer-drinking buddy, very red on the floor, flowing from the center. Von B took the high road down the stairway. Room 69 had done everything but that. Then I asked her, Tanya, the heat will be here very quickly. Shall we dedicate the room to our love? Of course, my love. We made it just in time, and the stupid heat ran in. One of the learned then pronounced Indian Mike dead. And since Von B was a kind of U.S. government product, there was a hell of a lot of people around. Various chicken shit officials, firemen, reporters, the cops, the inventor, the CIA, the FBI, various other forms of human shit. Tanya came over and sat in my lap. They will kill me now. Please try not to be sad. I didn't answer. Then Von Brashlitz was screaming, pointing to Tanya. I tell you, gentlemen, she has no feeling. I saved the damn thing from Hitler. I tell you, it's nothing but a machine. They all just stood there. Nobody believed Von B. It was simply the most beautiful machine and so-called woman they had ever seen. Oh shit, you idiots. Every woman is a fucking machine. Can't you see that? They play for the highest bidder. There's no such thing as love. That is a fairy tale mirage like Christmas. They still wouldn't believe. This is only a machine. Have no fear. Watch. Von Brashlitz grabbed one of Tanya's arms, ripped it completely off her body, and inside the hole of her shoulders, you could see it. There was nothing but wire and tubes, coiled and running things, plus some minor substance that faintly resembled blood. I saw Tanya standing there with this coil of wire hanging from her shoulder, where her arm used to be. She looked at me. Please, for me too, I asked. You try not to be too sad. I watched as they ganged her and ripped and raped and tore. I couldn't help it. I put my head down between my legs and cried. Also, Indian Mike never got his $20 worth. Some months went by. I never went back to the bar. There was a trial, but the government exonerated Von B and his machine. I moved to another town, far away, and one day, sitting in the bar shop, I picked up this sex mag. Here was an ad. Blow up your own little dolly, $29.95. Resistant rubber material, very durable. Chains and whips included in package. A bikini, bras, panties, 2 wigs, lipstick, a small jar of love potion included. Von Brashlitz's company. I sent him a money order, some box number in Massachusetts he had moved to. The package arrived in about 3 weeks. Very embarrassing. I didn't have a bicycle pump. And then I got the hots. And then when I took the thing out of the package, I had to go down to the corner gas station and use the air hose. It looked better as it blew up. Big tits, big ass. What you got there, pal? The gas station man asked me. Look, man, I'm just borrowing a little air. Don't I buy a lot of gas here, huh? Okay, you can have the air. I just damn well can't help wondering what you got there. Just forget it, I said. Jesus, look at those tits. I am looking, asshole. I left him with his tongue hanging out, then threw her over my shoulder and made it back to my place. I carried her into the bedroom. The big question was yet to come. I spread the legs and looked for some kind of opening. Von B hadn't completely slipped. I climbed on top and began kissing that rubber mouth. Now and then I reached for one of the giant rubber tits and sucked upon it. I had a yellow wig on her and rubbed the love potion all over my cock. It didn't take much love potion. Maybe it sent a year's worth. I kissed her passionately behind the ears, stuck my finger up her ass, kept pumping. Then I leaped off, chained her arms behind her back. There was this little lock and key, and I whipped her ass good with the leather thongs. God, I gotta be nuts, I thought. Then I flipped her over and put it back in, humped and humped. Frankly, it was rather boring. I imagined male dogs screwing female cats. I imagined 2 people fucking through the air as they jumped from the Empire State Building. I imagined a pussy as large as an octopus crawling toward me, wet and stinking and aching for an orgasm. I remembered all the panties, knees, legs, tits, pussies I'd ever seen. The rubber was sweating. I was sweating. I love you, darling, I whispered into one of her rubber ears. I hate to admit it, but I forced myself to come into that lousy hunk of rubber. It was hardly a Tanya at all. I took a razor blade and cut the thing to all the shit, dumped it out with the beer cans. How many men in America bought those stupid things? Or then you can pass half a 100 fuck machines in a 10-minute walk on almost any main sidewalk of America. The only difference being that they pretended that they were human. Poor Indian Mike with that 20-inch dead cock. All poor Indian Mikes. All the climbers into space. All the whores of Vietnam and Washington. Poor Tanya. Her belly had been a hog's belly. Veins the veins of a dog. She rarely shatted or pissed. She had just fucked. Heart, voice, and tongue borrowed from others. There was only supposed to be 17 possible organ transplants at that time. At that time, Von B was far ahead of them. Poor Tanya, who had only eaten a little, mostly cheap cheese and raisins. She had no desire for money or property or large new cars or over-expensive homes. She had never read the evening paper, had no desire for colored television, new hats, rain boots, back-fence conversations with idiot wives. Nor had she desired a husband who was a doctor or a stockbroker or a congressman or a cop. And the guy at the gas station kept asking me, "Hey, what happened to that thing you brought down here one day and blew up with the air hose?" But he doesn't ask anymore. I buy my gas at a new place. I don't even get my hair cut anymore where I saw that magazine with the Von Brashlitz rubber dolly sex ad. I'm trying to forget everything. What would you do? Hey, Marcel. This reading, maybe I'll play a song now. You like that, Kelly? Nice. Play a song and then we'll read another story. This is I'll Dance You by Eddie Howard. I'll tell you a second. In just a breathless moment now, the violin will sound. I'll hold you close, and this is how I'll dance you into my heart. I'll dance you up, I'll dance you down, we'll dance the night away. I'll dance you to the end of time and to the brink of day. I'll see you standing there with the star fall in your hair, and I'll ask you if you care. We'll go waltzing with me in the air, and we'll step into a magic spell and leave the earth below. I'll dance you to a fairly well and never let you go. Marcia Parchment. And this is how I'll dance you into my heart. I'll dance you up, I'll dance you down, we'll dance the night away. I'll dance you to the end of time and to the brink of day. I'll see you standing there with the star fall in your hair, and I'll ask you if you care. We'll go waltzing with me in the air, and we'll step into a magic spell and leave the earth below. I'll dance you to a fairly well and never let you go. So, alright, this one's dark. The murder of Ramon Vasquez. The Murder of Ramon Vasquez by Charles Bukowski. They rang the doorbell. Two brothers, Lincoln, 23, and Andrew, 17. He came to the door. There he was, Ramon Vasquez. the old star of the silent screen and the beginning of the talkies. He was in his 60s now, but still had that same delicate look. In those days, on screen and off, his hair was smeared heavily with Vaseline and combed straight back, hard, and with the long thin nose and the tiny mustache, and the way he looked deeply into the lady's eyes, well, it was too much. He had been called the Great Lover. The ladies swooned when they saw him on the screen. Swooned. That's what the movie columnist said. But actually, Ramon Vasquez was a homosexual. Now his hair was a stately white, and the mustache a bit thicker. It was a chilly California night, and Ramon's place was set off in a hilly area by itself. Both of them were on the muscular side and had rather pleasant faces, pleasant and apologetic faces. Lincoln did the talking. "We've read about you, Mr. Vasquez." Okay, there's an italicized at the bottom here. It says, "This story is fiction, and any events or near similar events in actual life which did transpire have not prejudiced the author toward any figures involved or uninvolved. In other words, the mind, the imagination, the creative facilities have been allowed to run freely, and that means invention, of which set is drawn and caused by living 1 year short of half a century with the human race, and is not narrowed down to any specific cases, newspaper stories, and was not written to harm, infer, or do injustice to any of my fellow creatures involved in circumstances similar to the story or to the story to follow." "I'm sorry to bother you, but we're deeply interested in Hollywood idols, and we found out where you lived, and we were driving by, just couldn't help ringing your doorbell." "Isn't it cold out there, boys?" Yes, it is. "Won't you step in for a moment?" "Oh, we don't want to disturb you. We don't want to interrupt anything." "That's all right. Do come in. I'm alone." The boys walked in, stood in the center of the room, looking rather awkward and confused. "Ah, please, sit down," said Ramon. He pointed to a couch. The boys walked over, sat down rather stiffly. There was a small fire going in the fireplace. "I'll get you something to warm you up. Just a moment, please." Ramon came back with some good French wine, opened the bottle, left again, then returned with 3 chilled glasses. He poured 3 drinks. "Have a bit. Very nice stuff." Lincoln downed his rather quickly. Andrew, watching, did the same thing. Ramon refilled the glasses. "You are brothers?" "Yes." "I thought so. I'm Lincoln. He's my younger brother, Andrew." "Ah, yes. Andrew has a very delicate face and fascinating face. A brooding face. Something a bit cruel about it, too. Perhaps just the right amount of cruel. Might get him into the movies. I still have a bit of pull, you know." "How about my face, Mr. Vasquez?" asked Lincoln. "Not as delicate, and crueler. So cruel as to have an almost animal beauty. That, and with your body. Forgive, but you are built like some damned ape who has had most of his hair shaven off. But I like you very much. You radiate something." "Maybe it's hunger," said Andrew, speaking for the first time. "We just got to town. We drove in from Kansas. Flat tires, then we threw a goddamn piston. It ate up all their money. Tires and repairs. It's sitting outside now, a 56 Plymouth. We couldn't even junk it for $10. "You're hungry?" "And how?" "Well, wait, good heavens, I'll get you something. I'll fix you something. Meanwhile, drink up." Ramon went into the kitchen. Lincoln picked up the bottle and drank from it for a long time, then handed it to Andrew. Finish it off. Andrew had just emptied the bottle when Ramon came back with a large platter, pitted and stuffed olives, cheese, salami, pastrami, white crackers, green onions, ham, and deviled eggs. "Oh, the wine, you finished it. Fine." Ramon left, came back with 2 chilled bottles, opened them both. The boys snatched at the food. It didn't take them long. The plate was clean. Then they started on the wine. "Did you know Bogart?" Only slightly. How about Garbo? Of course, don't be silly. How about Gable? Only slightly. Cagney? I never knew Cagney. You see, most of those you mentioned came from different eras. I sometimes believe that some of the later stars do resent that I made most of my money before the tax bite became too deep. But they forget that in terms of money earned, I have never earned their kind of inflationary money, which they are now learning to protect through the advice of tax experts, who show them all the tax loopholes, reinvestment, all that. Anyhow, at parties, all that, it makes for mixed feelings. They think that I'm rich, I think they're rich. We all worry too much about money and fame and power. Me, I only have enough to live comfortably upon until I die. We read up on you, Ramon, said Lincoln. Two writers claim you always keep $5,000 in cash hid in your house, a kind of pocket money, and that you really have a mistrust of the banks and the banking system. He can't leave. I don't know where you got that. It's not true. Screen, said Lincoln. September issue, 1968. The Hollywood Star, Young and Old, January issue, 1969. We have the magazines in the car right now. It's untrue. The only money I have in the house is what I have in my wallet. And that's it, $20 or $30. Let's see. Surely. Ramon took out his wallet. There was one 20 and 3 ones. Lincoln grabbed the wallet. I'll take it. I'll take that. What's the matter with you, Lincoln? If you want the money, take it. Only give me my wallet back. There are things in there, a driver's license, all those necessary things. Fuck you. What? I said, fuck you! Listen, I'll have to ask you boys to leave this house. You're becoming unruly. Is there more wine? Yes, there's more wine. You can have it all. 10 or 12 bottles of the best French wines. Please take them and leave. I beg you. Worried about your $5,000. I tell you sincerely that there isn't any hidden $5,000. I tell you sincerely from my heart that there just isn't any $5,000. You lying cocksucker. Why must you be so rude? Cocksucker. Cocksucker. I offered my hospitality, my kindness to you. Now you become brutal and unkindly. That plate of fucking food you gave us, you call that food? What was wrong with it? Queer food. I don't understand. Little pickled olives, stuffed eggs. Men don't eat that kind of shit. You ate it. Oh, you giving me lip, cocksucker? Lincoln got up from the couch, walked over to Ramon in his chair, slapped him across the face hard with his open palm 3 times. Lincoln had big hands. Ramon dropped his head, began to weep. I'm sorry, I was only trying to do what I could. Lincoln looked at his brother. See him? Fucking pansy. Crying like a baby. Man, I'll make him cry. I'll really make him cry unless he coughs up that $5,000. Lincoln picked up a wine bottle, drank heavily from it. Drink up, he told Andrew. We got work to do. Andrew drank from his bottle heavily. Then while Ramon wept, they each sat sipping at the wine, looking at each other and thinking. You know what I'm going to do? Lincoln asked his brother. What? I'm going to make him suck my cock. Why? Why? Just for laughs, that's why. Lincoln took another drink, then walked over to Ramon, got him under the chin and lifted his head. Hey, mother. What? Oh, please leave me alone. You're going to suck my cock, cocksucker. Oh, no, please. We know you're a homo. Get ready, mother. No, please. Lincoln ran down his fly. Open your mouth. Oh, no, please. This time when Lincoln hit Ramon, his fist was closed. I love you, Ramon. Suck. Ramon opened his mouth, put the tip of his dick into the lips. You bite me, mother. I'll kill you. Ramon began to suck while weeping. Lincoln slapped him across the forehead. Give me some action. Put some life into it. Ramon bobbed harder, worked his tongue. Then just as Lincoln felt himself coming, he grabbed the back of Ramon's head and jammed it all the way in. Ramon gagged, choked. Lincoln left it in there until it was emptied. Now suck my brother. Andrew said, Link, I'd rather not. You chicken shit? No, it's not that. No guts. No. Have another drink. Andrew drank, thought a while. Okay, he can suck my dick. Make him do it. Andrew got unzipped. Get ready to suck, mother. Ramon just sat there weeping. Lift his head. He really likes it. Andrew lifted Ramon's head. I don't want to hit you, old man. Open your lips. It won't take long. Ramon opened his lips. There, said Lincoln. See, he's doing it. No trouble at all. Ramon bobbed his head and tongued, and Andrew came. Ramon spit it out on the rug. Bastard, said Lincoln. You're supposed to swallow it. He walked over and slapped Ramon, who had stopped crying, who looked as if he was in a trance of some sort. The brothers sat down again, finished their wine bottles, found more in the kitchen, brought them out, uncorked them, and drank some more. Ramon Vasquez already looked like a wax figure of a dead star in the Hollywood Museum. We're going to get that $5,000, and then we're going to split, said Lincoln. He said it ain't here, said Andrew. Queers are natural-born liars. I'll get it out of him. You just sit here and enjoy your wine. I'll take care of this punk. Lincoln picked up Ramon and threw him over one of his shoulders and carried him into the bedroom. Andrew sat there drinking the wine. He heard some talking and shouting from the bedroom. Then he saw the telephone. He dialed the New York City number, charged it to Ramon's phone. That's where his chick was. She'd left Kansas City for the big time, but she still wrote him letters. Long ones. She wasn't making it yet. Who? Andrew. Oh, Andrew, is something wrong? Were you asleep? I was just going to bed. Alone? Of course. Well, there's nothing wrong. This guy is going to get me into the movies. He says I have a delicate face. Oh, wonderful, Andrew. You have a beautiful face, and I love you. You know that. Sure. How's it going with you, kitten? Not so good, Andy. New York is a cold town. Everybody tries to get in your panties. That's all they want. I'm working as a waitress. It's hell. But I'm getting a part in an off-Broadway play. What kind of play? Oh, I don't know. It seems a little corny. Something written by a nigger. Don't you trust those niggers, babe? I don't. It's just for the experience. And they've got some big-name actress working her part for free. Well, that's all right. But don't trust those niggers. I'm no damn fool, Andy. I don't trust anybody. It's just for experience. Who's the nigger? I don't know. Some playwright. All he does is sit around and smoke grass and talk revolution. It's the thing now. We gotta go with it until it blows over. That playwright, he ain't fucking with you. Don't be a damn fool, Andrew. I treat him nicely, but he's nothing but a pagan, a beast. And I'm so tired of being a waitress. All these wise guys pinching your ass because they left a quarter tip. It's hell. I think of you all the time, baby. And I think of you, old pretty face, old big dick Andy. And I love you. You talk funny sometimes, funny and real. That's why I love you, babe. Hey, what's all that screaming I hear? It's a joke, babe. Big wild party here in Beverly Hills. You know these actors. Sounds like somebody's getting killed. Don't worry, babe. It's just a gag. Everybody drunk. Somebody's practicing his lines. Love you. I'll phone or write again soon. Please do, Andrew. I love you. Night, sweets. Good night, Andrew. Andrew hung up and walked toward the bedroom. He walked into the bedroom. There was Ramon on the big double bed. Ramon was very bloody. The sheets were very bloody. Lincoln had this cane in his hand. It was the famous cane that the great lover used in the movies. The cane had blood all over it. Son of the bitch won't cop out, said Lincoln. Get me another bottle of wine. Andrew came back with the wine, uncorked it, and Lincoln took a long haul. Maybe the $5,000 ain't here, said Andrew. It's here, and we need it. Queers are worse than Jews. I mean, Jews would rather die than give up a penny. And queers lie. Get me? Lincoln looked again at the body on the bed. Where you got the $5,000 hidden, Ramon? I swear, from the bottom of my soul, there's no $5,000. I swear. Lincoln brought the cane down across the face of the great lover. Another slash. The blood ran. Ramon became unconscious. No good this way. Put him under the shower, Lincoln told his brother. Revive him. Get all that blood off. We'll start all over again. This time not only his face, but also his cock and balls. He'll talk. Any man will talk. Go clean him up while I have myself a few drinks. Lincoln walked out. Andrew looked at the mass of bleeding, red, gagged for a moment, then vomited on the floor. He felt better after vomiting. He picked the body up, walked it toward the bathroom. Ramon seemed to revive for a moment. Holy Mary, Mother of God. Holy Mary, Mother of God. He said it once more as they walked toward the bathroom. Holy Mary, Mother of God. When Andrew got to the bathroom, he took off Ramon's blood-soaked clothes, saw the shower stall, put Ramon upon the floor, and tested the water until it got to the proper warmth. Then, taking off his own shoes and stockings, pants, shorts, and t-shirt, he got into the shower with Ramon. He held him under the water. The blood began washing off. Andrew looked at the water plastering the gray hairs flat upon the head of this once idol of womanhood. Ramon just looked like a sad old man, dropping within the mercy of himself. Then suddenly, upon impulse, he turned off the hot water, just left on the cold. He put his mouth up against Ramon's ears. All we want, old man, is your $5,000. We'll split. Just give us the $5,000, then we'll leave you alone, understand? Holy Mary, said the old man. Andrew brought him out of the shower, took him back to the bedroom, put him upon the bed. Lincoln had a new bottle of wine, was working at it. Okay, he said. This time he talks. I don't think he's got the $5,000. I wouldn't take a beating like that for $5,000. He's got it. He's a homo kike nigger bastard. This time he talks. Lincoln handed the bottle to Andrew, who immediately drank from it. Lincoln picked up the cane. Now, cocksucker, where's the $5,000? There wasn't any answer from the man on the bed. Lincoln inverted the cane. That is, he took the straight end in his hand, then took the curved end and came down upon Ramon's cock and balls. There was very little sound from the man except for a continual series of moans. Ramon's sexual organs were almost completely erased. Lincoln took off for a moment for a good drain of wine and then took the cane and began beating everywhere, upon Ramon's face, belly, hands, nose, head, everywhere. No longer asking the question about the $5,000, Ramon's mouth was open, and the pouring of the blood was from a broken nose, and other parts of the face flowed into his mouth. He swallowed it down and drowned in his own blood. Then he was very still, and the thrashing of the cane had very little effect. You've killed him, said Andrew from his chair watching, and he was going to get me into the movies. I didn't kill him, said Lincoln. You killed him! I sat there and watched, and you beat him to death with his own cane. The cane that made him famous in his movies. What the fuck? Said Andrew. You're really talking like a wino nut now. The main thing is we gotta get out of here. We'll settle the rest later. This guy's dead. Let's move. First, said Lincoln, I've read crime mags on this sort of stuff. First, we throw him off. We dip our fingers into his blood, write various things on the walls, all that. What? Okay, like, fuck pigs, death to pigs. Then write some name above the headboard, a man's name, say like Louis. Okay? Okay. They dipped their fingers into his blood and wrote their little slogans, then went outside. The 56 Plymouth started. They rolled south with Ramon's $23 plus his stolen wine. At sunset in Western, they saw two young minis standing near the corner hitchhiking. They pulled up. There was some clever rejoinder, and then the two girls got in. The car had a radio. That's about all it did have. They turned it on. There were bottles of expensive French wine rolling around the car. Hey, said one of the girls, I think these guys are a couple of swingers. Hey, said Lincoln, let's drive down to the beach and lay on the sand and drink this wine and watch the sun come up. Okay, said the other girl. Andrew managed to uncork one. It was tough. He had to use his pocket knife. Thin blade. They'd left Ramon and Ramon's nice corkscrew behind, and the pocket knife didn't quite work like a corkscrew. Every time you drank a bit of wine, you had to drink a bit of cork. Up front, Lincoln was having a bit of time, but having to drive, he was mainly mentally conning his. In the back seat, Andrew had already run his hand up her legs. Then he slid away part of the panty. It was hard work, and he got his finger into there. Suddenly, she withdrew, shoved him off, and said, I think we should get to know each other better first. Sure, said Andrew. We got 20 or 30 minutes before we hit the sand and get busy. My name, said Andrew, is Harold Anderson. My name is Claire Edwards. They embraced again. The great lover was dead, but there would be others. Also plenty of on-great. Mostly those. It was the way things worked. Or didn't work. Happy birthday, Trent Daniel Mullinax. Happy birthday. I'm going to take my pill now. I usually take it at the very end, but just to stay relatively close to the right time to take the pill. Oh, let's give... You're still here. Good. I'll give you a shout-out, birthday shout-out. Trent Daniel Mullinax, happy birthday! Trent Daniel Mullinax, happy birthday! Trent Daniel Mullinax, happy All right. So, some of you might be wondering what the show is about. People often wonder what the show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 700 pills, this is the 700th pill, the 700th show. A number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me the most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show, the community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell, boy do she now. Hell, I mean heck. Welcome. This show has it all. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment. I hope you have a happy birthday. It's 600 years of entertainment with Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcast on record and cylinders played on a 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with a nursery rhyme book from my childhood containing woodcut illustrations from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also The Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warped nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity, punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber, created by me that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand as this is advanced social science. Yeah, so the show is also like an old-timey variety show, Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy. A dash of Mr. Ed and 2 doses of Alice in Wonderland. A helping of Hee Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone, a tincture of Teen Wolf, an ounce of Oz, a cup of Creepshow and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan, a pound of Popeye, I am what I am, a whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Ha ha. Come up to the lab and see what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me, I wanna be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, full. Fill me, creature of the night, an undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college try of I Spy, a couple of raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoonful of Mary Poppins, and the full Monty Python. Finally, lump in Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. You've got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. Yes, I am. Alice will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for her high fives. The first On the second coming, always be risen with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies. The Supermen and their boners will always be spinsters and sumptuouses working the sweatshop. The twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV, pigs will fly, disco and dance will reign, like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. Yes, be safe, Lucas, be safe, whatever you choose. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, pre-exposure protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now, and it's 1969. Free love, woo! All right, pill number 700. Pill number 700 down the hatch. We are robot. All right. The 700th one. All day long, Alex, all day long. I needed something to drink. I love you too, Alex. Thank you. I like the room we're in. Got a late start tonight. We want cinnamon roll. Coming up, oh boy. Hey Shane, just chilling like a villain. It's almost time to wake my kids up for school. Yeah, I gotta wake up the boys. No, I am running on fumes, I think. Yeah? Yeah. What's the temperature outside?
It's 66 degrees right now.
It's not. Yeah.
What do you think they should wear?
Maybe. I think maybe just shorts and short sleeves with a coat. Maybe not even a coat, really.
Well, I thought that's why on Monday I gave him that long sleeve shirt. Do you think the long sleeve shirt?
No, because then he got sick. Alex got sick being too hot. See, can't you see the Obamas getting blowjobs here? Here's the Woody. He's like perfect height here to. There's another Woody over here, blowing this Obama. All right, we'll get to help the kids get ready. Hey, hang on, hang on.
Alex, where is?
Hi, show.
Alex, we're trying to find your. There it is.
Woo! Hi! You come over and come and say hi. You don't have to do that yet. You want to come over here, Jay? You should come over though. Laura talked me into driving the boys to school, so I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys. But the boys text me to say hi. Alex is too tired to say hi.
Something?
Hi, show.
Here. Your thing.
We love you.
Marks with a leaf, okay? Okay? There's a leaf in there.
So thank you all for being here. This has been Pill 700. So let's say good night, old friends and new. Good night, old friends and new.
Thing on there. Should we have Jack say that? Alex, say it on there quick.
Come on, Alex.
Say good friends and new.
Alex, you now?
Can I do it?
Alright,
Ladies and fricks, bye.
just say good night, old friends and new.
Yeah.
Good night, old
Get
friends.
right, lean right over there and say hello.
Good night, old friends and new and maybe folks. Night, old friends and new. Night, old friends and new.
Yell at it once. Really yell at it.
What did it say?
Good night, old friends and new. Yell.
Good night, old friends and new and fricks.
Wait, good. Again.
Good night, old friends and new and fricks. Old friends.
Okay, do it one more time.
Good night, old friends and new and fricks.
You got it, I think.
Here, Jack, here's your soccer shoes. Alex, are you wearing socks? Here, Jack.
It's gonna get dark for just a second. Alright, I want to thank you all for being here. This has been Jason is a Social Scientist. My Mouth Daily, pill number 700. Alright. This is the house that Jack built. This is the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cow that crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the maiden, all forlorn, that milked the cow with the crumpled horn, that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the man, all tattered and torn, that kissed the maiden, all forlorn, that milked the cow with the crumpled horn, that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the priest, all shaven and shorn, that married the man, all tattered and torn, that kissed the maiden, all forlorn, that milked the cow with the crumpled horn, that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cock that crowed the moor and that woke the priest all shaven and shorn, that married the man all tattered and torn, that kissed the maiden all forlorn, that milked the cow with the crumpled horn, that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the farmer that sowed the corn, that fed the cock, that crowed the moor and that woke the priest all shaven and shorn, that married the man all tattered and torn, that kissed the maiden all forlorn, that milked the cow with the crumpled horn, that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. Alright, I love you all. Thank you. Come back tomorrow. I'll have more ideas for you, and you'll have things you'll want to talk about, and so will I. I love you. I love you. I love you. Alright, 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 alright.
We need to turn back on the light.
No, it's time to say goodnight. I love you. Bye, everyone.